What I love about the building now, though, is just all the names around. I remember there being blank white walls. I remember there being nothing, not even on a picture when I first came in. It's just shown how far the program's come over 10 years. It's incredible.
There's so much going on at CSA that it's a lot, and it's really, really energetic and exciting, and you don't want to miss a minute of it.
When you're a mentor, you're half sibling. Actually, let's not even say half. You're part sibling, part parent, part teacher, part confidant. You're everything kind of rolled up into one.
The kinds of experiences I had during that summer were unparalleled. My first cohort of scholars have just entered their first year of college, and one of them is even at Harvard. You know, to see that sort of path and that trajectory happen and feel like, to some degree, I was part of that journey was really, really impactful.
Scholars are outstanding. I mean, they're just wonderful people to be around. They want to learn. They want to learn from you. They want to share ideas. It's the definition of an intellectual community, and it's really an extension of the community that we find in the university, but with a whole new mindset, because you have these excellent local high school students who are in there who bring a whole fresh perspective.
You know, it's given me tangible, practical proof that, you know, giving back in this manner to kids coming from places just like I came from it's just one of the most rewarding things I've ever done.
When we would sit down in Annenberg in the dining hall, our group of mentors was probably the most diverse group of people you would ever see in a dining hall together at Harvard. I saw people share things that even some of my closest friends at Harvard might not have shared with me. And having that community, having that support really allowed you to think about, you know, how you fit into even your concentration at Harvard, your group of friends, your activities. And if you maybe weren't happy with something, it gave you an opportunity to stop and think and, you know, what do I want to do? What do I want my experience at Harvard to be?
And having that continued connection to the community is something that really helps not just ground people who are part of the program, but it's like a fun, happy place to be. And having that during the course of the year, having an event every month, having connections with scholars every month as you're making calls, that helps. It's a huge quality of life boost. I mean, it's like you get extra time to hang out with friends and people that you care about a couple times a month built into your schedule, even if you can't manage to like plan it on your own. So that's something that really enriches the college experience, I think, here at Harvard.
When I entered Harvard, I had a very different idea of how my experience was going to be and where I was going to end up upon graduation. Like complete 180 from where I started to the moment I graduated. And I think that the Crimson Summer Academy was a huge part of the way that my thinking changed and the way that my interests changed. So now I work to make service opportunities and those kinds of experiences really accessible and a strong part of the Harvard culture. And I mean, I think it speaks for itself, and that I would have never maybe considered this an important endeavor had it not been for the Crimson Summer Academy.
CSA is sort of like my lighthouse, kind of, that helps me guide my way. Just the experiences that I had there as I think about how I try to do what's best for students in the work that I still do today, even if I'm not directly with the program. It trained me to be a better educator in terms of working with students, in terms of navigating complex institutions, and in terms of figuring out how you take big ideas about what kids need and turn it into actual day-to-day, how you work with kids to support them.
CSA really taught me how to incorporate a person's whole history into who they are as a student and to use that history to better educate them.
I look back, and it's not just the impact that it's had on my career, but I see a lot of other mentors who have gone into education who either didn't realize that that's what they wanted to do, or they, like me, they knew that they were interested in education, but this helped them learn more about it and see what specific avenues they wanted to take. And I actually run into at least a couple of former mentors who are now teachers in the Boston area. Now I still manage to maintain a little bit of relationship with CSA by being an administrator at a high school in Boston where we actually have a student going to CSA.
I really felt strongly about providing an avenue for all young people, as many as I could possibly reach. And CSA gave me the opportunity to start that process. Being a teacher now gives me the opportunity to continue it.
I definitely would not be where I am today without CSA. If it hadn't been for CSA, I don't know if I would have ended up in this field, and I really, truly love it.
CSA has been such a powerful force in so many people's lives in terms of them being able to access opportunities, to be part of a community that really values personal development, personal growth, and education.
People often talk about living in a Harvard bubble for students, and people are often isolated in Harvard, away from the community that they're working in, they're studying in. For me, suddenly my eyes were opened to Boston, to Cambridge, to the greater community, to the people that live there. I'd met families, not just students, but families of students from all over Boston and Cambridge, and a whole different perspective of where Harvard fitted into that. Transitioning back into being a student at Harvard, I realised it wasn't just my little dorm room or the lecture theatre that I was in or the sports that I was playing, but I was part of something actually bigger and I think greater in the community now. I was part of a project and something where I felt I belonged to something.
CSA is a place where Harvard is so engaged with the community and engaged in a way that's really going to help change not only the lives of the students who come through the program, but the community itself.
You know, I've watched it happen. I'm so just proud and happy and amazed and just blessed to have been a part of that.
It is a summer experience that I've never, ever had, either before I came to Harvard or after I've left Harvard. And I'm not sure I'll ever be able to replicate that CSA magic again. But that's okay. These young people are phenomenal. I have never met anyone like them. I don't think I ever will. I'm lucky. Really lucky.